Please now welcome
Jesse.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're so excited to do this Q&A. You probably didn't recognize me, but I played the bartender who also does all those pull-ups. So I had to put on a ton of weight and then lose it immediately for the Q&A. So thank you so much. So thrilled to be talking to you guys. The thing I wanted to start with is the thing I'm so impressed by you. So this is the second movie I've seen of yours, and both of them did this thing that is so shocking. You know, I got to direct a movie, so I kind of like, you know the well, I'm in movies too, but I'm trying to be an idiot. But basically,
don't you dare be modest.
I'm just saying, like, the thing I'm most surprised by is like the way you are able to like bring in all the stuff that I like in a movie, which is, you know, essentially like intimate relationships and kind of funny, you know, unusual dynamic, interpersonal dynamic. And then you guys also have this like Avatar like technical prowess and feat of engineering that you do with both your movies. The last movie, I don't know if you saw it, but you really should. But it was like 7 individual take scenes, if I'm right. And then this one has just like a massive amount of like, you know, again, I just compare it to like, I just think of like James Cameron with The Thing, and the screens are on the walls, and yet you're just making the kind of movie I like, which is basically, you're not Jewish, but essentially 2 Jews talking in a room. And I'm wondering.
I thought we were doing.
Yeah. You're in the Jewish tradition of them talking in rooms, but you're bringing your own other ethnicities to it, which
Kyle
is
calls
interesting.
it. Kyle came up with a name for it.
I call it Italian American maximalism.
Oh yeah, that's interesting too. Yeah, I know, but I didn't know what else to say. So anyway, so I just want to ask you, when you're creating these things, are you doing both simultaneously? Are you thinking, this is a story, these are the characters, and also we can do this incredible scene that no one's ever seen before?
Yeah, I mean, I think because we are always writing a lot of stories and we're spread all over the place, and like at any given time we're probably like kicking around 4 or 5 ideas. We only run toward the ones that like really excite us with full speed, and this one got us really excited. We had a lot of ideas, and we knew we wanted to do something again similar to The Climb, where he and I could act across from each other again. And we wanted to be like more of a four-hander, like a 2 couple in the Hamptons sort of thing. And like so we knew the ideas, but we didn't really dive into writing it in earnest until we came up with really the two scenes that we got most excited about. One was the opening scene with the breakup, the car crash and the breakup, and forgetting to put his penis away. And then the other one was the reveal where he and Dakota's character sleep together, and then he tells me, and we just said, what if instead of like arguing about it, they just fought for 10 pages? And we were like, we just write a 10-page fight scene.
The original note is like, this happens, and then there's like a note that says like 10-page fight scene.
Yeah. And we were just
Bring it up with the cart before the
we kept saying, it has to be 10 pages. And meaning like, our mandate for writing was like, if we can't have 10 pages of fighting, we're not going to do it. So we had to come up with ways to entertain for 10 pages. So it was almost like reverse engineering this arbitrary number, which ended up shrinking down in the timing because, you know, you speed things up in editing.
Right.
But yeah, that was our sort of like completely arbitrary, ridiculous North Star of.
But does that come from a feeling of it wouldn't be enough just to have this love quadrangle or whatever? Like, does it feel like, no, if we're
I
gonna
was
do
just
this?
like, I was like, I just don't want to make a movie where people go, who cares? They might still go, who cares here? But at least for me, I would go, I've never seen that before, right? So like, when we went into making this film, we were like, well, at least we'll make something that feels different in the landscape of like what looks like a romantic comedy.
I also think that we like putting pressure on our characters through physicality, just because it's a great lens to look at actual character. Like a lot of people talk in rooms, and then they go home and they do something completely different. Yeah. And we're interested in, great, someone says something, let's pressure test it by forcing them to use their raw instincts and get away from sort of the surface conversations that we can get into.
That makes sense considering your last movie opened with a bike Tour de France. Yeah. And does that help you guys as actors? I know when I have something physical to do, it gets me out of my own head and I like performing. Is that similar?
Yeah, and I think it's, I just think it makes it compelling, and I think we really had an ambition to make something that was a little more in the heritage of like a proper screwball comedy, even though it is like a, you know, it has like elements of a Polnazurski film, but it's also like, you know, it's got like we're trying to go after like Chaplin-esque Buster Keaton type like crazy, just throw things from that sort of like old tradition of just like doing crazy practical things on screen, because I think they entertain audiences, but also we just love that stuff. So I don't know, it was sort of like an amalgamation of like what started as an experiment immediately came back to character, and so we just we do this thing where we're like, we'll have an idea and then we'll run it down and then we'll backfill it. We'll go, okay, now let's really figure out the character and the motivation of the character to get to that point, and we'll sort of like map it in a weird back and forth way.
Sometimes we go too far.
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask, is there something that you conceived of that you thought, no, this is too much physicality or too much camera work that actually will distract from, you know, what we feel for the characters? Or a scene that you conceived of that just seemed too grand for the intimacy of the story, or does it not?
I think there's a scene that we didn't shoot but that was a budget thing.
But there were shots that we did as longer takes that then you use some moderation. I mean, I think one of the things that you're great as in this one as opposed to the Klein is he leveraged a lot more of the toolkit in order to edit through things with a little bit more precision. Like we shot the downstairs fight sequence. That's one continuous take.
Wait, when you go into the kitchen, it's
The whole thing is the same thing.
No, it's not cuts, but when we shot it, I said we're not leaving set until we have a good single take of this. So for a while in the edit, I was like, we would just play that whole downstairs out in one take, and then as I got further along, I was like, you know, because there's like that top-down shot and the reverse shot, and so we started experimenting with like very minimal cutting, just sort of like where it sort of seems it's almost invisible, but it keeps you in the thing without noticing that it's super choppy, so it still feels different than most like modern day action fight scenes. But yeah, so why we're out of breath at the end of that scene is because every time we did it start to finish.
Yeah,
So we did like
going
7
for
times.
example, I can't breathe for half that scene.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that.
No, you flipped me over and slammed into it.
How did you guys not get hurt?
We did. We just didn't get injured. We never got hurt. It hurt and injured are two different
And you
things.
just have the physique to flip up from being down and punch him in the head?
I didn't at first, but after 5 weeks of training at the gym, I did.
Yeah, we surprised people. We were at the rock climbing gym and just constantly had me walk around with mics cocked in my face. Yeah, we would just practice that fight sequence and flip each other up and slam each other
Were you
down.
wearing dress while you were doing this?
No, definitely not. It
Makes it easier.
more traction.
Okay, got it. Wow. I don't have any hair in my body, so I wouldn't understand that. That's amazing. You got an alopecia from the neck down. And then neck up, the opposite. That's amazing. So, and my favorite moment in the film, forgive me if it's like petty to say this, but when you're slapping the kid's 5 after the card conversation, I don't know why, I just had like the dumbest smile on my face. I was just like so happy. And something like that, I'm also watching as like a director, and I'm going, fuck. How did they think of that? Like, it's so good and simple, really. It is quite simple, especially compared to half the other stuff you're doing. And it's like, even that to me is like just elevated cinema. And it's like, it's just so great and admirable. And again, can I ask, like, is that a kind of thing that's conceived of in the origins of the scene? Or you're there and you're trying to figure out a way to shoot it? Or?
No, that was a script thing. I mean, Kyle sent me this song that his wife found called Pasta Fagioli, which is that song that plays there. And I was like, well, this is going to the movie somewhere. I just don't know where yet. And then we were writing the scene. We knew that we wanted that whole scene to happen where they see each other at the school and they kiss.
Yeah.
And then I knew I wanted the car to drive away, and then we would just see me watching.
Right.
But I sort of also wanted to like stay with him in his little moment of joy for a second.
Yeah.
And so it felt like, I think there's only 2 slow-mo shots in the movie. It's that and then the crash out the window.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like, oh, this is like a moment to like lean in. And once we figured out like, oh, there's gonna be like that song plus this, and then I was like, guys, we're doing 200 plus feet of dolly
That's a lot of
all the way
dolly
down
track.
there. And like, this is insane. How are we gonna? And I was just like, trust me, it's gonna be like because I was like, I want it to be like, what are we watching? Like, he went inside, now we're just with these kids, and they're
Watching somebody get pantsed, like we go by kids pantsing each other.
So we started like seeing the whole pantsing thing. We did that 4? No, more than that, like probably 7 or 8. But yeah, and so it just felt like, oh yeah, this is world building, and then, I don't know, it just felt exciting to us, and like, so there was a lot of those type of things that were like very much, this is the way we're shooting it.
Yeah.
We went in.
Absolutely superb. When I'm watching your movie, part of me is thinking like, are you guys get called about or are interested in doing like a superhero thing? Because you have the technical abilities, plus you have this other thing, which is that you could make movies with good characters and stuff, and it would seem like a fit if you were interested, or do you just have contempt for that?
Contempt?
Yeah.
I don't have contempt for anything.
Oh, really?
I probably do.
Just
but
me.
Sometimes I have contempt. No, I love you.
I'm driven entirely by it, so I'm surprised you're not.
No, I don't have. I have anger, but not contempt.
Oh, it's a great little nuance. It's anger, but with a kind of condescending resentment. And
I should try that. I just have like everything's just pure outward, and it's not really targeted.
my thing's more cathartic. But no, seriously, do you think about like, oh, we could take this imagination we have for the medium and use it on a story that's, let's say, less intimate, you know?
I think I would only do that if I got paid a lot of money. I don't think they pay people that much money. And this is really...
No, they do. That's why they all do it. Marvel? What are you talking about?
I feel like they pay them like a flat thing, and they go, you should be so lucky, now you get to do this thing.
No, it's the opposite. They pay you to do it. It's
No, but not like a lot. I'm just saying, I don't think they pay you as much as people think.
I can assure you they pay you more than whatever your salary was. And again, I love the movie, but nonetheless, you know.
We have come up with bigger, we have written bigger
I'd rather
ideas.
do an original.
Yeah,
I'd rather do a big original studio film. I just feel like, here's the thing. I'm not saying no. I just said, if it's a lot of money, I don't know what your version of a lot of money is and my version of a lot of money is, but if it's more than this, I would consider it.
I have humble roots, so I guess I just feel satisfied with less.
Would you do a superhero movie?
But I act in these things, so
I know, but you should direct one.
Well, no, but I don't have the technical prowess. If it was me, the superheroes, they would be Jewish, and they would, for whatever reason, their superpowers wouldn't. We can't leave the room. That was their thing. We've been hit by this toxic sludge, and now we're stuck here. What are you eating? Would be my version of that, and I could see you would watch it, but I could see the studio getting the dailies and being upset, and then calling me and me saying, no, trust me, wait till the whole thing comes in, and then being nice, and they're probably Jewish too. They're like, okay, we'll wait till the whole thing comes in, and then they're mad. Yeah.
So I think, you know what's weird, it's like, I think that those things are built to succeed, and there's a reason that people watch them, that why do they need me? There's a lot of people with technical prowess. Like, I think what we want to do is build original worlds,
yeah,
and build like those universes in like a very original way. And so like, while I'm certainly open to it, if it was like, if someone said, oh, there's a remake for this thing, and it was a totally new take, but it's also like, we're just going and creating a bunch of, we're putting all our effort and work and creativity into something for someone else as opposed to just like making our own things. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course it does. Does it excite you when you think about maybe working on a bigger scale? Like,
oh yeah, I want to work on a big scale. Yeah.
It does?
Yeah, that's
We
all
shot
I
this in 24 days.
No.
Yeah.
24 days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk the topic. They usually give us more money.
24 days?
Just hang around, I love you.
That's tiny. That's
How many did you get on the last one?
I had 30 days.
Ah, in
But-
New Jersey. I had to go
In
to
New Jersey.
Montreal and I only had 24 days.
If it helps, mine looks not good. So yours is more impressive, even if they had the same amount of days. Yeah, we got New Jersey. My problem was I promised the actors, hey, we'll film local, and then it turns out it's really expensive. to film
It's
here.
really,
yeah. But you could see, if you had more money on this, would it look different? Because to me, this looks like $100 million because you have a good skill set. What would look
there would be, yes, it would look different, it would be better, but, like, all the light would be in the right places in the right times, like, there'd be more days, so we would schedule the days where it's like, okay, now we're going to this scene, and the sun's gonna set in the right spot, we're gonna get the moment in the right way. I would just spread it out and take my time. I wouldn't go bigger, I would just be more thoughtful, and I would take the time, and I would have rehearsal, and it would just be a better movie, but it doesn't mean this isn't a good movie.
But that's a different, like, contour laying, that's your thing.
Yeah, just like I see the things that I don't like. It doesn't bother me. I'm happy. I'm proud of the
Maybe you
movie.
see something that was perhaps a compromise because you had 12 hours rather than 24 to do it.
I shot 10-hour days, 24 10-hour days. You have 12.
We had one shot on the roller coaster ride. One shot. That's it. That's the
Really?
one take we got.
Really?
Roller
Yeah.
coaster,
And how many
And
finished
ejected. They were rubber fish.
They were plastic fish.
Oh, they're plastic fish.
Yeah.
It's interesting. They seem like they were moving like real fish.
Listen, when I was doing these stunt scenes, I remember when we did the car crash. I turned to you or I turned to Emily, the producer, and I just said, "Oh my God, I just want to be an action director. This is all I want to do for the rest of my life." Oh yeah, I was like, I'm done with people
Okay, so
talking.
5 minutes ago I asked you, hey, would you want to do this other kind of
Superhero. An action, not superhero.
movie? That's what those are.
I don't want capes. I don't need capes.
Well, maybe that's the thing you bring to it.
You get a
know?
commission
You
from
want-
Marvel on this, don't you?
What's that?
You get a commission from Marvel
No,
on
but
this.
they did ask me
Is
to
this their
kind of
new
bring it
thing?
up softly. I have a cousin there, and he just wanted me to kind of just softball it to you, and just kind of throw a fishing line in there and see if anything comes back. But with you guys, the fish never come back. Did any of the fish survive in the bathtub?
Every
All of
single
them.
one.
Really?
Yes, that's what we were told.
Really? And they enjoy it? That's what you're told? Yeah. You know what I find interesting on movies? This is unrelated. But like, I've been in movies where there's like an animal. Like there was a chicken on set one day and everybody was like, and the person comes who runs the chicken, and they're like, the chicken needs a break. And so the chicken takes a break. And they're like, and everybody's around the chicken. And the chicken's calm. Okay, we do the scene and everything. And then they call lunch and everybody, 85 people go to eat chicken at the lunch table. Yeah.
No, it's completely. So we did a commercial one time where they had to have a crab on the plate,
Yeah.
a living crab on the plate. They had to go buy it from a supermarket,
Yeah.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Then the person, so there needed to be someone there that's certified that we didn't eat or kill the crab or harm the crab. They had to return it and get a receipt to the supermarket, and then show the receipt so that the animal people could say nothing was harmed. And I'm like, that crab went back to the supermarket. If you want to say that is not
Wanted to die.
You send it back to death row.
I was like, why did you free it? You could have let it go. I mean, put it in the grass. It's not going to live, but at least it doesn't die.
Yeah. Well, it's good that we have to end there because you have to go down to the Angelica, and I'm not doing anything. So anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Tell people to go see the movie in
Yeah, of course,
theaters.
thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be directing the new Wolverine, so everyone check it out.